Hello, Harry Leppard here at the Effective Learning Centre. Our aim is to improve your English every day. So today I wanted to talk about indirect questions. In English, we tend to avoid using direct questions like where do you live and how much do you earn, because we see direct questions as being quite rude and personal. So here I've written a few indirect questions which are very common and useful. So the first one I've written is, could you tell me? So we can use this in a variety of situations. All of these situations can be involving a question. So for example, could you tell me where the closest shop is? Or could you tell me where the supermarket is? Could you tell me how to use this computer? Many different examples. Now on to the second one. Do you happen to know? So, do you happen to know is very similar to the first example. It's just a different sentence type. We are using do instead of could. So we are using an auxiliary verb in this sentence, whereas in the first we are using could, which is a modal auxiliary verb. Slightly different. So when we use do you know or do you happen to know, we are being a little bit more direct. Although do you know or do you happen to know is more direct, it is still a lot more polite than saying the question without this mitigator. Now on to the third example, does anyone know? So we use does in the third person singular when we are talking to many different people. So it is plural and it can apply to 3 or more people. The key word in the sentence is anyone. If we used this with the second sentence, the plural element, we could say do any of you. Do any of you. So we are talking about several people. But the key word in here is anyone. This makes the sentence plural. Now on to the next sentence. Can you please tell me? So this is similar to the other examples. It's just incorporating can, which is more direct than could, and please, which makes the sentence more polite. In my opinion, can you please tell me and could you tell me are equally polite, because could is more polite than can, but please is more polite than not saying please. And finally, onto the final sentence. I was wondering. We can use this in many of the different examples and contexts we've already discussed. The only difference with I was wondering is we use this sentence in a more general sense. So you can talk about anything with this sentence. You can say, I was wondering, how many times do you go to the gym every week? I was wondering, how much do you earn every month? That would be quite personal, but it's a good example. You could also ask, I was wondering, do you like to go to the cinema a lot? I was wondering, what do you get up to on the weekends? That is, what do you do on the weekends? So the key lesson today is we use these sentences to make questions less direct. The key thing to remember is these are not the questions, these are the mitigators to make the question more polite. So your questions, who, what, why, when, how, and so on, go here. Anyway, I hope that helped. See you next time. Goodbye.